Happy Sunday. This is Samantha again from LF Mur, and I hope you guys are having a gorgeous day. I did some writing, a writing session today, and I have been, my little bit of obsession lately has been about subjective reality and people's different reality, and of course, compassion comes into play when being friends with somebody or interacting with people that have a different reality or personal world that you live in. So a reality in a nutshell, or your personal world, basically makes up your belief system about your environment and yourself and your experiences, and it kind of creates the reality that you live in. So everyone lives in pretty much the same world. It's just the way that they view it. So let's say this is really helpful when it comes to compassion, because people have a hard time viewing different peoples in their world. So it's really difficult for people to understand. So compassion and understanding is really, really helpful when it comes to helping other people and connecting with other people and having a wider variety of viewpoints. That's why I said in my last video, when friendships are available for you or meant for you to be a well-rounded person and to be more compassionate and have a wider variety of perspective. And it's really important, because if you have a limited perspective, you're going to have a limited way of thinking, and ultimately, if you have a limited way of thinking, it's going to leave out a lot of positive experiences or positive ways of thinking. So compassion and understanding comes when when helping other people. Even if you haven't experienced what they are experiencing, it's really helpful to look at the belief systems that they have. If you are somebody that's really empathetic, put yourself in another person's shoes and really see how they see the world, because it is very, very fascinating that not everyone views the world the same way as you do. And I don't think a lot of people take the time to really understand, because everyone's kind of in their own head and they don't really take the time to understand of why people do the things they do. And I personally believe that the opposite of compassion is judgment. Judgment is basically putting yourself on this pedestal, and when you judge someone, you're subconsciously wishing a negative experience on them. Like a lot of people judge people for panhandling or not having a job or relying on other people for money, but you don't really know the experience that they've had in order to come to this point. They could personally want to have the freedom to not live in a home, to be out on the road all the time. They don't do well with others, so they don't want to put themselves in a negative response where they have to work a 9-to-5 job. There is a lot of work that goes into panhandling and for asking money on the streets, so they're not getting it for free. It's a lot of, you run the risk of getting attacked or abused or killed. So there's a lot of there's a wide variety of people why people judge, and honestly, the people that judge probably have never had the experience or the had to go out and ask for money on the street. So that's just an example. So I really like to encourage people to open their mind into put themselves into other people's shoes and understand the beliefs that they have. So when it comes to, like, for example, addiction, people that struggle with addiction have a very limited perspective of the world because they're not getting their needs met. The only need that they really care about is the addiction that is all consuming. And for someone that's outside of this picture and can't see the concepts of the belief systems that they have and their intentions, and it's just a lot that people don't really understand, so people judge. So and honestly, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a saint, because I don't know a person that hasn't judged somebody else, but normally when you judge someone else, it really has a lot to do with you and what you believe. And just because this person doesn't measure up to your moral standards doesn't mean that they don't deserve the rights just as everyone else. So when it comes to belief systems, that has a lot to do with your personal reality or your personal world. So if you want to change a belief system, you have to be willing to change the fundamental beliefs that you have about yourself. And a fundamental belief is I'm lovable, I'm not lovable, I'm worthy. Like, these are all kind of like the building blocks of a belief system. So if your core beliefs or your fundamental beliefs aren't very good, it's going to project onto your reality or your environment. So this was a quick video before I go back to work. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and if you would like to learn more about how to change a belief, I do have one on my blog. It's called How to Change a Belief on my Modern Day Empath blog. And I encourage you guys to be more compassionate because the world is so in desperate need of having more compassion. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye.